to discuss dispatch first, and then we'll go back and pick up with the things that we sort of had left over from the sheriff. So, I'd like to welcome everybody here. Thank you for attending, Sheriff Comeau. Representative Fleck is sitting in for Representative Patton because she was not able to be here. She had committee meetings down in Concord today. And we have Representative McCarthy, who said he wasn't going to say anything today, which I found to be quite interesting. And then Representative Schmidt is here, and we consider him the brains of our outfit. And we have Representative McConkey, who is Representative McConkey. What? So, anyhow.
If you don't mind, if I can do a 2-minute introduction, and it's actually to address those issues because I think they're an elephant in the room.
Address which issues?
Salaries, deputies.
Okay, let's wait until we go through dispatch.
Okay.
And then we'll go back.
That's fine. I would just like to comment on it because
no problem.
Then I really need to get this out there.
Yeah. Then we'll go back to the sheriff, and so because I want to at least finish up dispatch today. Okay. The special dispatch people, at the end of September, you had spent $1,164. And the question I have is, why are we budgeting $25,000 for special dispatch? That's 008 under dispatch.
10.
We'll get to dispatching. It's on page 10.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
When you read the number, the code number, is it the number under the description or above the description? Okay, then it's...
Okay.
Yep.
All right, the long and short of the answer is that I don't know why that reflects that. I mean, the number we came in with was 39,000 even. Our estimate based upon the actual hours was 40,000. And the commission has adopted 25,932. Now I can tell you with all assurance that under special dispatches, they deducted those pay sheets from the regular salary dispatch line 006 because we went over on that from I'm just looking at the expenditure line item to see, to make sure we're looking at the same thing. If you look at 006 on the salary dispatch, 9/30/2011, that was 33,422. But look at the line item directly underneath it, 1,164. I mean, I don't know what they're doing as far as the business office and us.
We've discussed this, and if I'm not mistaken, we had said that you needed to get with the expenditure, the funding people, and get all of these things straightened out. And so I trust that you had done that. And so if that has not occurred, then it's obviously too late for this year because maybe you can still get something done about it. But this is a responsibility of your office to make sure it's straight. And that's, if it's not, then you needed to get it fixed.
Well, I've gone on record.
I don't care if you're on record. What I'm
Well-
concerned about is going down and looking at each payroll entry and seeing if it's reflected appropriately in dispatch. And if it's not, then it needs to be changed. That's all I'm saying.
I do not have any more oversight on the county commissioners than they have on me.
The county commissioners have nothing to do with this.
They have everything to do with it, ma'am. Everything.
Okay, well, so, my
I will
question,
document your concerns. I'll try to identify where it is. The problem is they don't have the right technology, the right personnel, or the right procedures in place.
all I'm saying is that Kathy had agreed to work very closely with you to make sure that what she had in her records and what you had in your records were accurate.
Kathy said here in front of all you that she's made no errors.
No, she didn't say that.
Yes, she did.
She said she was more than happy to work with you to make sure that we got it correct. So, if what you're saying is that the special dispatch, that these are extra people that you hire, that are hired to fill in when you have people on vacation or sick or on personal days or whatever, right? And you're saying that the cost of that you're estimating the cost of that to be $25,009.
That's
For
what
next
the
year.
commissioners said, yeah.
Well, that's
I
what,
said 40, but they said 29,
25.
25.
Okay. So, what is the difference between your 39 and their recommended 25?
Okay, my estimate, but it's already been lowered, so I ought to just talk about what they
No, I
got.
want you to talk about your request.
Okay, it's covering the hours that full-time people are entitled to have off.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but the estimate is on sick and personal days.
okay. So the estimate is based on the max
Yes.
number, okay?
Yes, it is.
And the 25 is, I don't know, it could be based on experience, is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what they use. They use the
Okay.
exact
And
numbers last year.
Okay. And are the dispatchers under the same union agreement that says if they don't use it, they get 75% of their time?
Right, for the,
Okay.
yeah, annually.
Okay, and that is down under something else, right?
I think it's under personal days.
Right, I just didn't see that there quickly when I was looking.
Where is it, Mike? It's,
I think that's figured into the dispatcher's salaries, and the part-time dispatchers will fill in when they're off, or we have a void because someone left. And
So what you do is something different for dispatch than what you do for the sheriff, the deputy. We don't have the same, we don't have it shown exactly the same.
I think you're right on that. No, we don't.
Okay. So it might make sense for this year, for 2012, that we add another line in there and put that in like we do for the sheriff, so that we're not having two different methodologies for figuring the same expenses for the same people. And I think that can be done relatively easily. There's no big deal of adding a new thing. Yes, Representative McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just like to clear something up for the record on tape. The sheriff made a comment that the commissioners have no oversight authority over him. When it comes to his professional law enforcement duties. That is absolutely correct. They do not. State law, in fact, does. And state law gives the commissioners certain responsibilities over the sheriff's department. And the Supreme Court, on several occasions, has agreed with the commissioners, stating that the sheriff of each county must cooperate with the commissioners unless it directly interferes with his law enforcement duties.
Right.
So I just wanted to clear that up. And particularly when it comes to budgetary matters, the commissioners do, in fact, have oversight authority over the sheriff's department.
What I was referring to, sir,
Pardon me?
what I was referring to is that I can no more direct the commissioners to counsel their staff to fix their records than they can counsel me on any of the many responsibilities I'm responsible for. I stipulate, you're 100% accurate. I am responsible to submit my budget to the commissioners, they approve it, they present it to you. I answer questions about it, and I've done that with 100% accountability and 100% transparency. But we can talk about that later.
If it is necessary for me to come down and sit with you and Kathy to get this straightened out, okay, every month, then let me know. And I will be more than happy to expend the time to do something that I think between you and the budget people should be able to be worked out. But if it can't be, I will be more than happy to take the time on a Monday to come down here and do that with you. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But we need to get it accurate starting in FY12. Period, end of sentence. Whatever it takes.
No. What do you want to say?
First of all, there's the personal days and the dispatch.
No, there are up at the top.
You want to talk?
Well, we are making steps starting as of this year. We are, myself and Teresa are going to be going over with Kathy. So we do, I guess we made the decision to start it this year. That was too late as far as last year goes. So that's in place.
Okay. So this 8,000, I didn't see that up there. Thank you, Mike. This $8,000, does that cover the 15 days per however many employees there are?
It's a payout if they use the maximum, and they based, I believe they based it on the historical amount.
So $8,000. Okay. So do you subtract from that when they take personal days, just like you do with the sheriff?
I would have to say not, because on the last printing of the...
Yeah, you show 0.
Well, it shows, I don't know, my copy's at 51%. Maybe it's not as much.
Okay. All that I'm asking is that in the sheriff's department, when someone takes a personal day, you subtract it from the personal day money. We need to follow the same procedure here. Okay? And
the last conversation I had with the commissioners, I believe it was in front of this commission, was that they were going to put salaries under one line item and then break it out. Meaning all salaries and then subsets of the salaries. So when you looked at it, it would be clear. I don't think that's happened.
okay.
A question,
Go ahead.
Madam Chair?
Wait, just a minute. Representative McCarthy.
Thank you, Sheriff. Your original request was 39,000. The commissioners came in at 25. If I understand right, if I take the 25 plus the 8,000 personal days, I'm up somewhere around 33. Was that, if you had the personal numbers in there, was that heading to the number that you were looking for, Sheriff? Or was your opinion that you really needed 39?
Well,
Plus the personal.
Yeah, no, they used the historical number, but I can't remember how they actually came up with the 25, other than that it was the Mike, you know where that 25 came from?
I think we requested.
Wasn't that the same figure as the adopted budget for 2011, 25,932?
That's what I was gonna say. We requested more of the commissioners because you guys were asking for the certain level increase back on.
In other words, they just leveled it off, right?
Asked us to keep it level funded.
Right.
We requested that for the part-time because of the needs that we have for filling the seats and to make sure that we're staffed correctly. But
The only thing, if I could, the only thing I was, in that your 39,000, were you factoring in the personal days on top of that? You weren't, so you're not
I
that
don't think
far
so,
off, Sharon.
no. No, it is generally
Okay,
close.
thank you.
Question, Madam Chair?
Yeah, just a second, let me finish up on this. So according to this, in 2010, you spent a little over 39,000
Right,
in special dispatch. In 2011, we don't have a clue what you spent.
correct.
And so we are looking at the 2539, or, yeah, 2539, 25.9 is what the, to keep that level funded for 2012. Is that,
That's exactly
okay,
how they came up with it.
okay, fine, thank you. Yes,
Well, it's been going up and down, thank you, Madam Chair, like a yo-yo from 10,000 to 40,000. My question, however, is it too early to, it's very difficult to tell what's going on. You know, we only have up until 9/30, 2011, and there's only $1,100 been spent. Is it too early to have some more information on a 2011 budget?
yes, it is. I don't think that they close out the budget until sometime in February. Is that right? Okay, it's sometime in February, so when the budget gets closed out. And that's to make sure that all of the bills have come in. I mean, that's standard practice in county, city, municipal government, so. Okay. So you believe this is level funded?
But
Okay.
things like salary, we should be able to get an answer on that, shouldn't we?
Yes, we should. And I would hope that somebody could, in fact, get a better number for the special dispatch
I can,
for that.
sure. That's what I estimate last year in total.
Do we have left?
No, but that's what we spent.
Hmm?
I think I know where another meeting
Oh,
is.
okay. On the second question, dealing with education and conferences, that question sort of got answered because it is used for certification for the dispatchers.
That's a primary
Mhm.
purpose of it.
Okay. All right, and then number 029, which is other fees and services. We've got $500 in there, and I don't know what falls under that category, but according to this, we hadn't spent anything, and in previous years, we had spent relatively less than 500. Can you kind of explain what the fees and services are?
I don't know, we got the bills from that one?
We don't. I think that was put in there for, just for some unforeseen cost. Like we have, this year, we have $1,000 we have to come up with for Belknap County's tower that the state just imposed on us. And we knew that was coming, and that's in the budget, actually. But I think, I don't know what it was for, because I wasn't involved before. I think it may have been there for something if it creeps up. We don't have an explanation on that now. We can look into it, the historical part of it, and get back to you on it.
Okay. I'd appreciate that. Okay, 052, which is uniform expenses
Right.
for the dispatchers.
It's,
What does the union contract call for uniforms?
Well, it calls for,
Um,
225 for uniforms and 230 per training. Is that the correct number, 225 and 230?
I believe so.
Yeah.
225,
25 and
And 230 for training per
Per-
year.
okay, per dispatcher?
That's correct.
And how many are there?
Not the, well, the full-timers,
Yeah.
full-time.
How many are there?
There's, today we've got full-time, full-time we have 11.
And what, but how many are you authorized?
15.
Yes, Frank?
Are part-time dispatchers, are they authorized by contract, the uniform?
No,
Okay.
Okay, then if you have 11 full-time, how does it get to 15? Where'd the other 4 come from?
well, we include the part-time in the uniform costs. They don't get a full complement of the, of the benefit, but they get, a partial if they
Is
only.
that in the Teamsters
No.
contract?
No, that's not in the contract.
Not in the contract.
No.
Well, why do they get it?
Well, because I said that's the way we should do it.
they're required to wear uniforms just like everyone else, so we pay for the.
I can't hear you.
They're required to wear uniforms just like the full-time dispatchers. They just don't get as many of them because they're only on a part-time basis, but they still have to wear the same uniform when they work, so we pay for that.
Okay.
That's
So,
certain.
all right, so it would suggest to me that the next time you open the contract, that if in fact you require your part-time people to wear uniforms, that there should be something in the contract that says you are going to provide them a certain amount of something or other to take care of their uniforms. Because if it's not in the contract, they shouldn't get it. I don't,
Well,
I don't care.
agree with that.
I don't care what you've said.
Yeah.
If it's not in the contract that they're working under, or that, or unless you have some sort of policy statement that you can provide, that says, this is the policy and it's been approved by the commissioners, then you can't just make up your mind that you want to do something. Okay?
Well, just as a. item-
That's all I'm saying.
Well, just to deal with, and this is so basic to our purpose here today. The commissioners, the Carroll County Commissioners do not approve my policies.
Well, except that if they do not approve your policies for the sheriff deputies, I believe that they have the authority on the dispatch side, because that is not law enforcement. And so, at least on the dispatch side, okay? And I don't care whether they approve them or not. If you have a policy, then it should be written down so that it's there.
Why don't you, Mike,
Okay.
can you go grab the standard operating procedures? There's one in my desk.
If you have it, that's all you need to tell me, that I have it in.
Yeah, well,
And-
it's in a policy, but I guess I'd be hard pressed to find it right now as we're talking. It's in there though.
You understand where I'm coming
Sure.
from.
Oh,
I
I
don't.
do.
But listen, I have absolutely no concern that you provide your part-time people with uniforms, because I agree, they should look just like everybody else, because they act just like everybody else. But we shouldn't be, as a county, okay, paying for it unless there's a reason, whether it's standard operating procedure, whether it's a union contract, no matter what it is, without.
Grab that. I'm gonna show them the policy.
It's okay. Chris, you don't need to.
No, I'm just gonna show you, it's gonna be a binder about that big.
And that's fine.
For your edification, you
And
can,
that's,
What is that?
it's a binder about that big
What is?
with policies, on the sheriff's office. Go
Okay.
grab it, Mike.
Let me just, may I, Madam Chair?
yes.
Let me just take a second. And you're correct, nobody has anything to do with setting policy for the sheriff's department, unless there's a cost involved, and then they have everything to do with it. Let me, state law, RSA 2415, exceeding appropriations.
What was
No.
that number again, Mr. McCarthy?
24:15.
Okay.
1. No county commissioner or elected or appointed county officer shall pay or agree to pay or incur any liability for the payment of any sum of money for which the county convention has made no appropriation or in excess of any appropriation so made, except for the payment of judgments rendered against the county. That includes you, commissioner or elected county officials.
Okay.
You have to go by these this is a state law. This isn't policy that the commissioners laid down. It's
Sir, I
state
am
law.
in 100%
Okay.
compliance with that law.
Okay, so thank you, Frank. So you provide to the 15, I mean, you have to budget for the 15. I assume you are out trying to hire additional dispatchers?
Pretty much all the time, there's a turnover.
Yeah. So on your dispatch salary, did you budget for the 15 full-time?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me ask-
No, I'm sorry, I only budgeted right now for the 11 full-time. We haven't used that 15. They had that at one point, I think just before I got here. But we basically go under staff, most of the shifts, with few exceptions. We want 3, I'm hesitant to say we gotta have 3 because we can't afford 3.
Okay.
So, but that budget amount is the 11 full-time working here today.
Okay, so we're only budgeting for 11. We're
Right.
not looking at the increase.
Right.
And how you are in some ways filling that void is through your part-time dispatchers.
Right.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay,
Can I ask one more question?
yes, you may.
Sheriff, I know that you have said several times that you are in complete agreement and you are obeying the law. And when I mentioned to you about last year with the $154,000, you said that's not true. Let me ask you this question. It's very plain, very simple. Do you understand that every single one of these line items is an appropriation? It's not just the bottom line. Every one of these line items, by law, is an appropriation. So if you exceed one line item, you're exceeding your appropriation. Or if you take money out of what, you can't take money out of one and move it to another. You don't have that authority even.
Is your question to agree with?
I'm asking you,
With
do
your
you
statement?
understand what an appropriation is according to the law?
Mr. McCarthy, if you presented a definition of appropriation, I would answer your question, but I think...
Okay, let me tell you what an appropriation is. An appropriation. Appropriations by the county convention shall be itemized in detail, and a record thereof shall be kept by the clerk of the convention. The executive committee of the county shall have authority to review the expenditures of the county after adoption of the county budget, blah, 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 blah. In this chapter, an appropriation means an amount of money authorized for a specified purpose by the legislative body, being the delegation. And if you look at the further into the county laws and what the word purpose means, it specifically says purpose is synonymous with line item. So each one of these line items is in fact an appropriation. The bottom line is the budget, not an appropriation. That's your budget. The appropriations are each one of these line items, so you have to be careful with that. The law, is very precise. I just wondered if you realized that.
I am in 100% compliance with the law, commissioner's guidance, this delegation, and the subcommittee.
Thank you. So let me just